Good morning, and welcome to the Sabrina Slim Sew Along, Day 4. Today, we will simply be attaching the waistband to our pants. But as you attach the waistband, you will finally be able to see the fit that you have achieved with this first pair of pants. You will also better be able to see any alterations that will be necessary in your future subsequent pairs. So go ahead and attach your waistband, post a picture of your progress, and we'll discuss any fit issues. Don't forget tomorrow to post a picture of your final pair. I've had so much fun during this sew along, and I hope you have as well. So now I've completed my welt pockets, and off camera, I sewed the legs of my pants, right sides together. I sewed down the outside seam, the center leg seam, on both pants. So now I have two legs. I'm going to take one of my legs and turn it inside out. And the other leg, I'm going to grab the ankle or the hemline and I'm going to insert it into the top of the other leg, so that we have one inside the other with right sides facing. Now find your center back seam. And you will put right sides together, so you can see the right sides of my pants. This is the center back waistline. The center back seam, you can see one pocket on one side, pocket on the other side. Match up your crotch points. And pin or clip all along the way. Line up your center front, right up to the center front waistline. So you can see the crotch curve from center back down to the crotch point and up to the center front. We're going to sew that seam now. You now have your pants sewn at the center seam, so your legs are attached to one another, and the only thing left is to attach the waistband. I have the two waistband pieces here. You can see that the pattern piece indicates that you cut on the fold. So the fold is here with the direction of greatest stretch running along the waistband. So I have two waistband pieces, just like this, and I'm going to sew them right sides together along the short end. One of the pieces, when I sew along the short end, I'm going to leave a space in the middle of about 1 inch that is open, and this is where you will be inserting your elastic. So I'm going to sew the first 3/4 of an inch and the last 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to leave a hole open in the middle. You now have your waistband pieces sewn on the short ends, and you will want to put them together. Flip one right side out. You can see that the side pieces angle in so that this is the top of the waistband and the wider portion is the bottom of the waistband. You will simply want to slide the right side up piece into the inside out piece so that they are right sides together. Just tuck it inside. And you will line up the top of the waistband, lining up the seam and the free edge all the way around the top of the waistband. And you will simply sew around the top of the waistband, adhering the two together. I now have my waistband sewn around the top opening of the waistband, adhering the two pieces together. I'm going to flip it right side out. So you can see the waistband there. Now I'm going to press so that this seam lays open and clean and helps everything to lie flat. And then I'm going to baste. This is an additional step that I generally take when I'm sewing my bands. And by basting, I mean I'm going to take my serger and I'm going to sew around the free edge, adhering these two pieces of fabric to one another with a 0 seam allowance, meaning I'm not going to remove any of the fabric. I'm going to keep the fabric just to the left of my serger knife, allowing the stitches to catch the free edge and hold them together. This helps me when I'm attaching my band to my garment to have one less thing to worry about because they're already attached together. I'm going to go press and baste, and I'll show you what that looks like. I have now pressed and basted my waistband. You can see that this is the top of the waistband and this is the free edge, and that the two pieces are bound together with a serger stitch. In some places the stitches even hang off, and that's fine. When I attach my waistband to my garment, I will run the serger knife right along the edge of this stitching, simply removing the basting stitches so it does not add any additional bulk. Now we are going to quarter our waistband. First, find the seam of your waistband. Hold that in your hand here and find the exact opposite point from the seam here, and mark that with a clip. So now you have your two extreme poles, the seam here and the point opposite there. Now you will simply open your waistband and move your clip over to the seam and hold those two together. You will find this point opposite your clip, there, and again you have your seam and your clip here, and you will find the point opposite that over here, so that you have your quarter points marked. And now let's take a look at the waistline of our pants. We have the front of the pants here, the center seam. We are simply going to take the seam in your waistband, line it up with the rear seam, and you want the hole in the waistband to be on the outside, so that when you flip it up after adhering, this will be on the inside. So we have the hole on the outside, and we're going to simply slide the waistband over the waistline. I have another clip here. I'm going to clip the center back seam of the waistband with the center back seam of the pants. I'm going to clip the center front of the waistband with the center front of the pants. And the side clip with the side seam of the pants. And again on the other side. The side seam of the pants with your side waistband clip. You now have your waistband clipped to your waistline. And you can see the pocket's a little awkward. You can see that the waistline is a little bit longer than the waistband, and that the waistband will need it to be stretched just slightly to be as long as the waistline. When you are sewing the waistband on, you want to stretch only the waistband until it is the same length as the waistline, but do not stretch the pants. I'm going to start at center back, serge all the way around, and we'll show you what that looks like. You now have your waistband attached to your pants, and along the center back, you will have the hole where you will insert your elastic. Simply take your waistband elastic, measure around your hips or waist where the pants will fall, stretch it to a comfortable tightness, mark, and cut at that point. Once you have the length of your elastic determined, simply attach a safety pin to one end. Insert that end into your pants. Work it all the way around and back out the other side. And then secure the two ends of your elastic, overlapping one over the other, and secure with a zigzag stitch with your sewing machine going back and forth. And then simply close the hole on the seam, and you're all done with your pants. Hem the bottoms at your desired length, whether you want them full length or crop. And you have now completed your Sabrina Slims. And I hope that you enjoy them as much as I enjoy mine.